being here. My name is Joe Santiago. I'm the GM here at the Mahaffey Theater. And as you probably know, over the last year and a half, there's been a lot of exciting things happening here at the Mahaffey. In fact, today, in addition to having a press event, we have 150 kids coming in to see the Titanic exhibit. And we have 1,500 kids coming in about 30 minutes for class acts, Freckle-Faced Strawberry. So there's always something exciting happening here. The Titanic exhibit, as I mentioned, will be here through March the 3rd. It's in its final weeks. It's a fantastic exhibit. It's one more thing that we've added to the lineup in addition to just the main stage and the performing arts, the visual arts, and a quality museum exhibition like the Titanic exhibit.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to see you all here and at the beautiful Mahaffey. What do you think of this backdrop? Tell me another theater in the world that has this. Come on. Huh? This is why I live here. I love it. It's amazing. So you know, about a year ago or so, I took over this theater. And certainly I didn't build it, and certainly I didn't make the rules, and I didn't, you know, enforce the things that went on in here over the last, God knows how many years, 40, 50 years. But getting your arms around a theater like this is a big job. You know, I often talk to the mayor and I said to him, how did you do this? And he said, it was really hard to run a city and get your arms around certain things in a city of this size. Well, I find it hard to get my arms around this theater, so it's taken me a while to kind of make decisions. First you have to watch it work and see how it works, and then, you know, keep in mind that in the past, this theater has been mostly a rental facility, and so it doesn't have a good history with booking agents and a lot of other people of having the capability of filling itself up so that acts will come into St. Petersburg and not go to other theaters. So that was the first compelling situation. I think Scott Schechter and Joe Jimenez and everybody who was involved in this did an amazing job in the last year and a half of booking this show. So now we got some great acts that are coming. And I feel really great about that, because one of the biggest things I think you do in business is you try to improve your product while decreasing the cost. Okay, and those are two major things I think that make business very important. Okay, so our goal, of course, is to increase our product, to improve our product, yet to give it to you at a lower cost. And so I think we've done that this year. The first thing that I want to talk about, I'm sure you're here for, is the fact that after looking over and listening to people on the telephone. We have a telephone operation that's an inbound room that people call and they buy tickets and so on down the line, and we put them in seats and all that stuff. And then the conversations, when it comes time to buy a ticket, I had, especially like, for instance, we had an Elvis show in here for Elvis's anniversary. The tickets were $19.35. Okay, so 2 tickets would have been around 38 bucks or something, right? But yet when I looked, those 2 tickets were about $58, okay? So the average cost added on to the stated ticket price is around $9, $10, somewhere in there. And to me, I said, this is insane. If you offer up a show at $39 or $19.35, then at the end of the day, I'm counting in my head before I decide to buy it as a consumer, well, okay, can I afford this? Can I take my girl out tonight or my wife out tonight and take her out to a show and spend $40 on tickets, have $60 left maybe, and with $100 maybe have a great night out with my wife or my mate or my friends or whatever. So you plan it that way and you look at it that way because you read it and you see in the papers and everything how we advertise it, but then when it comes down to buy the ticket, there's all these unknown charges that appear. And so I looked at this and I listened to the community, and I decided to just stop doing it. Okay, I said, I don't understand why we do this. By doing this, we have more empty seats than I'd like to have, and we probably could have filled them if we just made it affordable. So the whole point behind this is to make this affordable to the consumers, give them great entertainment at a lower price, and keep trying to do that. If that's our goal, this theater will be the #1 theater anywhere around here.
the special opportunity and to introduce one of our own here in Tampa. She is a hometown girl. She's a product of Tampa schools. We are very, very proud of her as Florida's Attorney General. She is here to talk about an issue that is of utmost importance to the members of our community who will have the opportunity to take advantage of some pretty significant financial resources that will be available to them, that are available to them, that they may not be accessing just because they don't know the information. And it's involving foreclosure assistance as a result of the settlement that General Bondi was able to negotiate. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Florida's Attorney General, but more importantly, Tampa's own Pam Bondi.
Thank you, Mayor. And I know we're also going to hear from Mayor Foster. And thank you so much for coming over to our side of the bay today, or the mayor's side. It's all my side of the bay now, I guess, now that I'm Attorney General. But thank you for coming over here today. We were in Orlando this morning. This week I was already in Fort Lauderdale and Miami on this very important issue. Because as you know, we reached one of the largest settlements, and we're very proud of that for our state with the 5 major banks. And it was an $8.4 billion settlement. Over $3 billion of those dollars, well over $3 billion, have already gone back into our community, or going back into our community in the form of principal reductions, loan mods, and other ways. But there's a pot of money, and this is what's so important. It's $170 million, and it is owed to Floridians. And let me tell you the criteria. And right now we're trying to get the percentage up because our deadline is here. And this is money. If your mortgage provider was Bank of America, Citibank, Wells, Ally, or JP Morgan Chase, and if you lost your home to foreclosure anywhere from 2008 to the end of 2011, and you feel you suffered any servicing abuse at all, you could be entitled to up to several $1,000s. So please take advantage of this. And right now, we've only, I think we're at about 55% of people that we know are entitled to this money have received it. And let me give you some examples, just some examples of the servicing abuses. False affidavits that were used during your loan loss paperwork, long delays, robo-signings. So we know that those were all rampant during those years. So that's why it's so important that people apply for this money. It's so simple. It's a very short form. You can either go on nationalmortgagesettlement.com, or you can go to myfloridalegal.com, which is my website. And we also have a call center, and I've actually added additional staff this week to help with those calls. If anyone has any questions, we'll help them with those questions. But please, please take advantage of this money that you're owed if you lost your home to foreclosure during that time. Also, but you do it today, do it this weekend, but please do it as soon as possible so you won't miss the deadline. It's about to pass. So please do it as soon as possible. But also, even if you're still in your home, there's what we call a bucket of money that was very, very important to me when we fought to get the settlement for Florida, for Floridians, and that's over $300 million. And there's not a deadline on that right now, but that's why it's so important for everyone to look at this, because if you're current on your mortgage, but your interest rate is 5.25% or higher, and you're underwater, you could also be entitled to relief. And I know that affects a lot of people in our community. So please take advantage of that as well. But first and foremost, if you lost your home to foreclosure between 2008 and 2011, please come forward and take that money because you deserve it. And thank you, Mayor Foster. Thank you for being here so much.
Go ahead.
Well, it's certainly an honor to be in Tampa today, standing with who I truly believe is the best Attorney General anywhere in the country. Attorney General Bondi cares, and she was able to negotiate one of the highest mortgage foreclosure settlements of any jurisdiction in the country. And so, Pam, thank you for your diligence and for your passion to serving the needs of the people of this community. This is money on the table. This mortgage foreclosure crisis, which plagues the city of St. Petersburg, which plagues the city of Tampa, didn't occur by itself. There were servicing abuses. And so this is money that is to go to victims of this abuse. So this is money that is on the table. It's a negotiated settlement that the residents of the people of St. Petersburg are entitled to if they fit the parameters, and the same goes for the people of the city of Tampa. So please go to these websites. Please call into this call center. And this is the tip of the iceberg. Not only are there funds available for mortgage modifications of those that are upside down in their homes and mortgage prevention and preventive items, but there's also $200 million to be appropriated by the Florida legislature this coming year that Mayor Buckhorn and I will lobby strongly for with other mayors to make sure that that goes back into the communities for neighborhood stabilization assistance and for programs that will absolutely benefit the communities of highest need in the city of Tampa and certainly in the city of St. Petersburg. So these are funds available that are to go to the victims individually and to the cities that have been victimized by these servicing practices. So once again, please pay attention. Know that the mayor of the city of St. Petersburg and the mayor of the city of Tampa, we're paying attention. But also know that your Attorney General is passionate about making sure that these numbers, that the percentages get higher of those that are seeking claims. She came to the mayors of the 5 largest cities over the weekend, or actually this past Friday, and actually the 7 largest cities. And when we were talking and the Attorney General was speaking about some discouragement because people weren't getting the message, it was the mayors throughout the state of Florida that decided that we would step up, we would stand with her, thank her publicly, but to make sure that our residents and the residents throughout the state of Florida got the message.
Mayor Foster, thank you, and thanks for coming over here. As mayors, we probably get this better than anybody because it's our citizens and our jurisdiction that has paid the highest price in this foreclosure debacle. All of you saw earlier this week where we committed to knock down 51 houses in Sulphur Springs that were dilapidated, that were virtually destroyed, that have become cancers in our neighborhood, attracting drug dealers and gangs and prostitutes. And getting some resolution to that is important. Those houses and those foreclosures, if left alone, become a cancer in our neighborhoods. And so not only is it important that we get this money that Attorney General Bondi has talked about to those victims of mortgage foreclosure fraud, get this money out on the street to help them, but equally as important is the settlement that she's negotiated, getting that money back out on the street and getting these lots cleaned up, getting market rate housing constructed on there, putting people back to work, giving people opportunity for home ownership, using down payment assistance, using all of the tools available to us to clean up our inner city streets. Cities have felt it worse than anybody. I mean, I think at one point we had over 4,000 houses in the city in some state of foreclosure or in some state of mortgage distress. And when somebody moves out of a house, they abandon it. And when they abandon it, then it devalues the properties next to them, and it spreads like a cancer block by block, street by street throughout our city. And so what the Attorney General is doing here today is important. It's important to the quality of life of our communities, and it's important to our citizens. And so the mayors, as Mayor Foster said, are joining with her to get the word out, to go access that foreclosure money, and equally as important, to help us, as she had committed to do, to make sure that that settlement money gets back out on the street where we can put it to good use. So, Attorney General, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
We appreciate it, and I can tell you that the folks in this community, and I know I speak for Mayor Foster as well, appreciate it because we've got neighborhoods that are in deep distress and that need a lot of help, and we've got to get them fixed. Those kids out there deserve the same quality of life as my kids on Davis Island do. And we've got to find a way to fix this and stabilize that economy.
It's a great day again in St. Petersburg for opening up another section of our city trail system. This happens to be the latest section of the Skyway Trail, which is a part of a 35-mile trail system that connects basically north, central, west, and south St. Petersburg together with separated recreational trails. This trail, called the Skyway Trail, is the next section taking the trail from the Pinellas Trail south to the Skyway and ultimately out to St. Petersburg Beach. I want to thank you all for being here today. I'd like to introduce the mayor of St. Petersburg to say a few words on behalf of the program and to ribbon cut and get this thing going. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Stay here, stay here. This man's name is Joe Kubicki, and I want you to give him a great sense of appreciation, because a lot of these, put it this way, all of the trails that we have in city trails was his passion, and through his leadership and dedication in going after grant monies and all of the funding that we could possibly get, he is kind of the godfather of this opening in connecting this trail through Clam Bayou, and you can go all the way to Tarpon Springs. I just met a man who did the Tarpon Springs run round trip, 80-some miles. I will never do that, I promise. But please, please show your appreciation for Joe Kubicki.
Oh, thank you.
We are excited about this. I've met many people here from the surrounding neighborhood, certainly Broadwater, and those that said, you know what, we weren't sure what you were doing when we were working on the construction, but wow, people love it. And I met 3 young ladies who were they said that we were the unofficial welcoming committee for the trail, and we greet people on the trail, and that's what it's about. It's about relationships, it's about interaction, and it can happen on the trail. It is a form of recreation, but it's getting out, enjoying this beautiful winter weather, and just having a great sense and quality of place. And that's what this is for the neighborhood. So thank you for embracing it. This is an incredible turnout for the dedication of a bicycle trail. And we know that you're ready to run the trail, ride the trail, and all of these things, but it is about quality of place. And if it's not for you, then it's not worth doing it. So it's because of you that it makes all of this worthwhile, and it makes the going after the monies and all of the work that's done. We do it for you because you enjoy it and you're going to use it and love it and embrace it. So I'm looking forward to watching you ride down the trail and enjoy it. God bless you. Thank you.
You know, this has been about I think about an 11-year process in assembling the money and stringing the trails across the city. And many of you know that the Tampa Bay area at one point ranked as the most dangerous place to ride a bike. And there is no city in the Bay Area that has made anywhere near the progress that we have made in stringing together safe places for people to ride their bikes. And so it's been a pleasure to have worked on that and to watch it spread. And we were very fortunate that while the window was open and with the federal transportation money, where we got about 90% of the cost of these projects were federal money, we were lucky because that window is closing as money gets tight. And so I hope people enjoy this. And let me introduce my colleague Jeff Danner,
The bike rider.
Good morning. The really great thing, we got this morning and looked at the rest of the country shoveling snow out to their cars and chiseling the ice off to get out today, and we just had to put on an extra sweatshirt. So this is really great. This is going to be another great addition to this plan. I want to thank the mayor and Joe and everybody for making all this happen, and just really going to enjoy riding today. Thanks.
Here we go, on 3. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. We're in.